Oh, hi! Welcome to CHEF.NGTV presents Big Meals from Tiny Spaces. I'm your host, Glenn DiNicola, and I'm going to be making a bunch of great stuff for you, so stay tuned. Welcome, and today's recipe is going to be spaghetti squash. This recipe is inspired by my mom. Hi, Mom! And it's really nutritious, it's really healthy, and it's relatively fast. All that is really required is just spaghetti squash, sauce, some oil, and some seasoning. It's very simple. And when we come right back, I'll show you how to cut a spaghetti squash and core it. Alright, so this is a spaghetti squash. And inside it's got a stringy pulp, and I'll show you that in a minute. It is a little hard to cut, so please, please, please be very, very careful when you're cutting. And you just slice it. And then pull it apart. There you go. Take a spoon and you scoop out the seeds. Okay, this is the inside, and I'm going to be scooping out all of this stuff, and it'll leave a stringy pulp on the middle, on the inside, and I'll show you that when I'm done. Scrape away all the loose dark orange strings, and you'll have the pale yellow flesh. When it cooks out just like pasta. And I'm going to be showing you a variety of different ways that you can cook this. See, that's how it looks right there. Do the other one, and then what I'm going to be doing is inside these cavities I'm going to be pouring a sauce and then covering it with cheese and then baking it, and it's going to come out so awesome. And that's how you do a spaghetti squash. Alright, so now all of our spaghetti squash are split and de-seeded, and they're right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover them with oil and then sprinkle them on the inside with a seasoning, just an Italian seasoning. And then I'm going to flip them over. My oven is preheated, or preheating to 350, and then I'm going to flip them over so that the cavity is underneath, and I'm going to bake them for half hour. And then you pull them out, and then there's two different ways to do it. You can either do it where you actually pull the stringy pulp out and serve it like a spaghetti, or you can put the sauce on the inside of the hollow and cover it with cheese like I said before. And I'm going to do it both ways just to show you the different ways that it can be done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to oil them, and then we're going to season them. So just take a little oil, pour a little in the hollow. This is the way I do it. Feel free to do it any way you want. Pour a little of the excess over and just massage that all in. It's not a glorious job, but somebody's got to do it. Messy cooking can be fun cooking, in my opinion. Get them all nice and oiled up. Then we're going to season them. Just the insides. Rub it all in. Alright, now that we've made a mess, we get to wash our hands. Alright, then you just liberally sprinkle and flip over. Alright, so now they're all oiled and spiced, and my oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and they're going to be cooked like this for half hour. And then I'm going to take them out and I'm going to prepare them in two different ways. And at that point, when we come back, I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So they're ready to come out now. And we're going to take them out right now. They're out of the oven, and I am going to prepare two different ways. I'm going to do it with the sauce in the shell, and then I'm also going to pull the meat of the vegetable out, and it'll look like actual pasta. And then you can serve it with sauce on the side. So the first one I'm going to do is with the sauce. And very carefully flip it over. Bam, bam. Got two good ones that I can use for the sauce. And I'll be right back with the sauce. Alright, so now we have the sauce and the mozzarella. And it'll only take a few minutes now because they're so well done. So you carefully pour the sauce. Then you put on some cheese. And back in the oven till the cheese browns. Probably about 5-10 minutes. And while that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the meat from these. Alright, so the two halves are in the oven and they're baking. I also have garlic bread in there, and we're also going to serve it with a salad. Now we're going to actually remove the pulp from the spaghetti squash. Just take a spaghetti squash. They are going to be a little bit hot, so you might want to use a pot holder. And you just pull. And it strings out like spaghetti. Just like that. And it's very pasta-ish. Then you just throw the husk away. And you just continue doing this until they're all done. Alright, so everything is now done and prepared. And right here is the finished product. We have the strung spaghetti squash. See, the little pasta-like tendrils. That is great. This is how it looks whole. And what you do is you cut this in half, and and then you serve it on a plate. Serve it with garlic bread and a salad like you would an Italian meal. Here's some apple chicken sausage that I've cooked up, and that'll go on for those who want meat. Mozzarella cheese to go on top, also Parmesan cheese, and then our sauce. And that's a very simple, easy spaghetti squash recipe, and I hope you enjoy it. And please keep sending in your requests, because we really do listen and we'd love to try them out. Have a great day. And so that's our recipe for today. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to email us at chef@CHEF.NGTV.com. We would love to hear from you, and let me know what you think about the program, any suggestions on recipes. We'd be more than happy to make them for you. Y'all have a great day now.